Hello guys. In today's class, I would like to show you how to install and configure MongoDB Shell on a MacBook. Oftentimes, it is very easy to install MongoDB Shell on Windows because you just need to download the zip folder and extract it in an installed MongoDB Compass file or repository inside your programs and file, and that completes the process. But oftentimes, I realize most people have challenges being able to install MongoDB Shell on Mac. So I'm going to make this demonstration to be able to guide us through how to complete the process. It's very easy. The first thing you would need to do is go to your Apple Play Store and download Xcode. Xcode is spelled as X code in this format. So when you download it, you install it into your Mac computer. After you have successfully installed it in your Mac computer, you can then begin the installation for Homebrew. So Homebrew is required for us to be able to install or configure MongoDB Shell on our MacBook. So you can use the code showing on the screen, and that would enable you to be able to install Homebrew. So if I run that, the first thing it would ask you for your password, because it's expected that as an administrator or a localhost administrator to your computer, you are able to configure or install external softwares or external applications. So in this case, I would use my password, and if you have yours, you should do the same. It's asking me to proceed with the installation process, and this installation is going to install Brew. It's going to install also Homebrew, and to create several parts that will be required for the installation to complete. So I advise you to just hit the enter button on your computer and give it some time to download the Homebrew file. And when it's finished downloading the Homebrew file, it would tell you it has been completed. Oftentimes, when this stage is complete, you cannot still be able to run what we call, you cannot be able to open the MongoDB file or complete the installation for MongoDB. So it is essential that you create a path, for Homebrew that the MongoDB shell would be able, will be installed upon. In order to create a path, you can first start by executing this command. Now, this will be displayed on your screen after Homebrew is successfully installed. And in order to check if Homebrew is successfully installed, like you see on the screen, it would be best if you run brew help. So if the installation is complete and you run brew help, you would have the following output displayed successfully, which means the installation of Homebrew is complete and also brew has been successfully installed. The next action would be to try to create the path where the Homebrew will be installed, which is a basic step. So first thing, you will see this code displayed at the end of Homebrew installation. You just simply copy it and paste it in your command line and execute. After you've done that, you also need to try to run the evaluate command, which now tries to check if the path has been successfully configured in your bash. If that has been successfully configured, you would get to see this. Now that we have successfully run these two commands, and we see that the path has been successfully created and evaluated, the next line of action would now be to install Mongosh. All right, and you can check if your brew is up to date by simply saying brew up to date or brew update. So it tells you that Homebrew is up to date. Also, you can see if there needs to install a widget. That can also check it up and tell you widget is installed, wget is installed, if you would like to uninstall it and reinstall it over again. But since that part is complete on my own end, if you do it, if you have not installed it before, and you start the process, if you're doing the process afresh for the first time in your MacBook, all these processes will configure successfully without giving any challenge. After you've done that, the next thing would be to install the MongoDB. So you say brew install MongoDB. When you run brew install MongoDB, it's going to configure or install MongoDB in your computer successfully. Because I've already completed the installation and it is successful on my end, you can clearly see that it tells me that MongoDB is already installed and up to date if I want to reinstall it over again. Because I'm not interested in reinstalling it, but showing you the steps on how to configure and install Homebrew and MongoDB on your Mac, this is the steps to go with it. In order to confirm if the process is complete, you can just simply type MongoDB. That's Mongo Shell. Mongo stands for Mongo Shell, and when you run that, it leads you straight to the server. You can see that clearly we are running on the server, and we are using Mongo 5.0.2.1, which is the latest. MongoDB 5.0.2.1, which is the latest version, and also Mongo Shell of 2.2.6. For those of you who are using Mac, when you do the same thing, you would see it contains the versions for both MongoDB Compass, MongoDB Atlas, and also MongoDB Shell. All the various versions will be clearly displayed. Now, a few demonstrations inside this server that we have started. For instance, if you want to see all the database that are stored in your server, you can simply say show DBS. Now, show DBS would show you the different database stored. And if you want to create a new database for use, you can simply say use my DB. That is a new database. When you say use my DB, it both creates the database and moves into the database. That is, it connects the database instance to the server ready for use. At the moment, if we say show DBS, we would not see my DB displaying because there is no collection that is created inside it. Don't forget that Mongo Shell or Mongo's Compass are used to store MongoDB files, and MongoDB files basically are JSON files, and JSON files are created in form of a document. So MongoDB database stores majorly unstructured data or structured data in form of documents, and these documents are stored inside collections, and the collections are stored inside the database. By way of experiment, I'm going to try to create a collection and also create a document in the collection, and we get to view it and see how it operates. So since we have our database, which is MyDB, and you can see it's not showing in the list of databases, the first thing you would like to do is create a collection inside the database. So you have db.mydb, db.mydb, or you can simply say db.mydb.create collection. So you have db.mydb.create collection, db.mydb, or you can simply say db.create collection for short. You don't even have to go through all of that process. So you can say db.create collection, and then you can state the collection name. Maybe the collection name should be employees in this case. If we run this, you can see that it is OK1. It means the collection has been created. For us to confirm if the collection has been created, there are two things we need to do. The first thing we need to do is execute show DBS again. That would now show my DB in the list of database because it currently has a collection that is stored inside it with about 8.00 kilobytes. In order to view the number of collections stored inside my DB, we have to say now show collections. Show collections. You can see we have the employees collection stored inside MyDB. But if we try to view the document stored inside employees, you would realize that it is empty because no document has been created inside the collection employees. In order to confirm if that is true, we can say db.employees.find. Now you can see it is empty. There is no collection stored inside the employees. There's no document stored inside the employees collection. Lastly, for this demonstration, I will just create one or two documents and store them inside this collection, and then we can view them and see how they are stored inside the collection. To create a collection, to create a document inside the collection, we can have db.employees.insert. Now that is a command required for us to create a collection. So we have db.employees.insert. So we are inserting a document inside the collection. A document could have name. I'm going to use, say, John Doe. So I'll have John. Then the document can also have, say, last name. So we have L name. L name, we can call it Doe. All right. And also we can define the age. All right. And the age is 25. And we can say salary. And the salary is 890. Now, if you look at this code correctly, you can realize that it has both, the content of the document has both keys and value. There's a key called name, the value is John. A key called LL name, the value is Doe. The key called age, the value is 25. The key called salary, the value is 7,890. One thing you would notice here is that not all the keys have double quotes around them. So let's see if this will work correct. So clearly it's created successfully, but not all the keys have double quote. This tells you that whether you put double quotation on the keys or not, it's going to create successfully. However, the string values must have double quotation, but the integer values do not need to have quotation. Another thing we can notice again is that while creating the document, we did not assign it an object ID. So automatically an object ID was created for it by the database instance. I'm going to create, we're going to try to view the document which is stored in the collection and see how it is stored. So we can say db employees dot find. So we're going to use the find command again. Paste it. So you have db.employees.find clearly displaying the document that is stored in the collection employees, which is stored in the database MyDB. So this is how to both configure MongoDB on MongoDB Shell on the Mac and also be able to set it set the part that of Hebrew and also configure the shell and now be able to set it up to run to create databases and be able to also create the collections and finally be able to create documents that we can be able to see. Subscribe and share and comment if you have questions. Share with other people to view. Like the video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you get to have more interesting insights into tech and also databases. We're going to proceed with this from here in our next video. Try to follow us and also set the notification to notify you as soon as the next video is updated. Thank you.